Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session that is hosted by Numerical Analytics. So, as we know that these webinars are recurring webinars, and we have seen some of the functions in the last week. So, today we are going to start with a new and fresh chapter that is on financial mathematics. So we have our presenter for today, Miss Greta Gomes. So, welcome, ma'am. Over to you. You can start with the session.
Thank you, Swati. So students, are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. Yes, okay. So students, to begin with our topic on financial math, you have to first familiarize yourself with where to get the finance solver key, okay? And this is helpful both for AA, AI, if you're in the IB syllabus. And I'm sure in every syllabus, you will need to know the compound interest, how to calculate the compound interest. And the TI calculator gives you the best way in just 3 clicks away. So menu 8 and 1 is the magic way to reach there. Okay, I'll do that again. So if you once you've already reached here and you want to move off this mode, just press escape. Okay, so I'll do it slowly now. Menu. Okay, so once you click menu, it's also sometimes referred to as the lighthouse. Okay, um, then you go to finance in 8. All right. I hope you're moving in with me. Uh, you can type yes into the chat if you are with me and if you have your hand held with you. So menu, finance, that is 8 and 1. So just so that I know that you have got this, please in the chat, go ahead and type it menu 8 1, just as a recall way for you. Go ahead and type in menu 8 1 so that you know that menu 8 1 gets you to the finance solver. Okay, great. So Abhinav is typing that in, I can see. Okay. Now, how do you get out of this space and go back into your uh, tab, go back into your other screen? Is just press escape. Okay, and you're back into your document mode. All right. Please practice this. Practice from going to menu 8 1 and then just getting out of this space, that is the financial solver space, and getting into the document mode. Okay. So once you're done, you can click done or just type in done into the chat. Once you familiarize yourself with where finance solver is in, please click done in chat so that I know that I can move ahead. Yes, please raise your hand as you have any queries. Okay. So menu, finance, and finance solver. Now, all of us know very well that we can find the compound interest also using the formula, right? There's a common formula that we use for compound interest, for amount that we use, right? Which I'll be coming to shortly. Now, just before I move into the formal formula, I would like to tell you how to move between these tabs, okay? So you can just kind of delete this and then come down, delete this, and so on, okay? Now, uh, to move between these tabs, please press the tab key, okay? As you can see, I'm just pressing the tab key smoothly and I'm able to go from one tab to the other, correct? Now, you must be wondering, what are these tabs? What is N? You can also get a hint here below, which says N is the number of payments, right? So as we familiarize ourselves to these variables and move using the tab key, we will understand the variables involved in the finance solver. Okay. So the first variable that the finance solver does give us is N. N is the number of payments, and I will be explaining this again when I move into my presentation mode. Yes. Okay. This is clear. Next, press tab, hit tab, okay? And you can clear if there is any value that you had typed in. So I% is the interest rate that is computed per annum. Okay, don't forget that interest rate that is recorded here per annum. Okay, then hit the tab key once again to move into PV. PV, students, it gives you the present value. We also sometimes call this the principal value, but in the calculator mode, we refer to this as the present value. All right. You will get more meaning to each of these variables as we do problems. Okay. So please hit the delete so that you have it free for you. Then again, press the tab key. Now let's say I pressed the tab key and I reached up here or I reached here and I forgot to delete what was above PPY. Okay, that is payments per year. PPY refers to payments per year. All right, and normally it will also be the same as CPY, which is compound periods per year, sometimes also called as compounding periods per year. Okay, but I will also show you a case where the two will be different. Okay, so now let's say I want to move up. So if you type the up arrow key, you observe it doesn't move. So in that case, you just press shift and tab. So remember, if you're going down in the table, just press tab, 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 tab. And if you want to go up in the table, just press shift and tab. Students, I'll give you some time to practice this right away while I clear my table. So just hit in some random values, have fun, clear it off, see if you can do that first, because you'll have to do this a multiple times today. Okay, are you done? You can type in ready in the chat if you're ready for problem solving and for us to discuss our first case. Yeah. Please click done in chat so that I know that you're done and you're ready to go. Okay, so clear, 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 and clear, clear, clear. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay, great. So we are ready to move on. So now students, as you can see my screen, we calculate the future value using the formula future value is equal to the present value times 1 plus r divided by 100 times k to the power of kn. Now, take a close look at all of this. So FV is the future value, PV you know is the present value, N is the number of years, okay, here on top. N is the number of years. So if you're given this, let's say quarterly or compounded half yearly, you'll have to take care and ensure that that is multiplied by K. And at the same time, R here is divided by 100 times K. The same factor will have to be factored in here as well. Okay, got it? So remember that R% is the normal annual rate of interest. K is the number of compounding periods per year. Okay, this is also given in the IB formula booklet. So it's no rocket science. Okay. Now, let's take a simple example wherein you want to type this out in your just in your document page. Okay. So your question is, Maria invests rupees 25,000 into a savings account that pays 4.25% interest compounded monthly. So because it is compounded monthly, and you are calculating the amount of money in the savings account after 3 years, you will now know that you need to multiply the amount of money in the savings account after 3 years by 12. Okay. You are calculating the amount of money in the savings account after 3 years, right? So just multiply this by 12. Okay. So go ahead and try this out in your calculator and please click done if you have done it successfully. Okay. All right. So here, press escape to get out of this mode. Yeah. And go ahead, hit 25,000 to 5. And there you go. Open up your bracket, which is here. Okay. So 1 plus, and remember the division key hides here, or the if you want the numerator divided by the denominator mode, it sits behind the division sign. So go ahead and activate that by just clicking Control Divide, right? And the numerator will have 4.25. The denominator will be 100.12, right? How do you know that? Yes, anybody? Okay. Yes, anybody? And to the power of 12 times 3. So please go ahead. Before I type my answer, I would like you to give me the answer here. Go ahead and give me the answer. Please type it out in chat. Yes? This is a very active group, I know. I'm already getting some answers. Please go ahead. Your answer in chat, please. Okay, there you go. So 1.116 into 10 to the power 5. Okay. So now let's go back to understand this TVM solver, or the financial solver mode of the calculator. Okay. Now, N is the total number of payments. Okay. I% is the interest rate. Remember, this is annually. PV is the present value. PMT is the payment made. That means if there is any additional payment that you have to make, then that is referred to as PMT. FV is the future value. PPY is the number of payments paid per year. Like in this case, you saw it was monthly, right? So the number of payments paid per year was 12. Then CPY is the number of times the interest is compounded per year. Okay. And as I told you, mostly these are the same, but you can also choose to differentiate it as will be shown shortly. And PMT80 is used to indicate whether the interest is compounded at the beginning of the time period or at the end of the time period. Sometimes they say at the beginning of the next year or at the end of the next year, right? Swati, so far so good?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. So now students, let's look at another question of compounding, a simple compound interest question. Don't get confused, okay? When I say simple compound interest questions, you might think it is simple interest too. Yeah. So James invests $2,000 in an interest bearing account for a period of 2 years. Calculate the account's balance after 2 years, given the interest is compounded annually at a rate of 9% per annum. Okay. So can you quickly identify what n or whatever will be, or can you just tell me what variable we are calculating? Please go ahead and type it in chat quickly. And we'll go ahead and put this into our calculator. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this is, please go ahead and tell me what variable you think you're going to be calculating. So James invests $2,000, right, in an interest bearing account. So here it is highlighted. Yes, here it is highlighted. And in an interest bearing account for a period of 2 years, right? You're already given this part as well. Now, calculating the account's balance after 2 years, given the interest is compounding annually, right? So you don't have to worry when it is compounding annually at a rate of 9% per annum. Okay, let me see what the chat has. So the chat says future value. Very good. So you can take a look at the next slide. It says future value. Students, I'd encourage you now to move into the finance solver mode, correct? And go in and type N as 2, I as 9, PV as negative 2000. Why negative 2000? Because this cash flow is moving out of the hands of James. Okay. Then PMT, that is going to be 0 because there are no additional payments being made. Okay. Whereas if you are making a payment monthly or quarterly, then that will have to be factored in here. Okay. Whatever value you are to calculate, that was rightly identified by two candidates here, that is uh, Anavi and Hriday. They rightly said it is FV that we are calculating. So leave that blank. Okay. Then PPY, that is payment per year. Again, note this is annually, and the compounding period per year, compound, this is again annually, will be 1. Okay, so let me also go ahead and do it with you. Oops, sorry. Let me go ahead and do this with you. So now you move to menu 8.1, remember, for finance. So finance solver, go ahead and enter those values. So what will N be? 2, right? Um the interest is 9, right? So that go ahead and enter that. PV, that is your principal value, was negative 2000. Negative because the cash flow is moving out of the person's hand, James's hand in this case. PMT is 0, right? Because there's nothing there that you're going to enter. FV is going to be left blank because that's what you want to calculate. This is 1, right? Come down. This is again going to be 1, and yeah, and end, correct? So just hit enter in order to calculate FE, but make sure that the cursor is next to FB, okay? And now you know that you have arrived at your answer of $2,000, 370, $2,376 and uh, okay. Let's go on now to our next question. Did you all get this? Did you all get the same answer? Please go ahead and type this out in chat. If you're with me, please go ahead and type this out in chat. Okay. Are you with me? Is it too fast? Yes, that's correct. Yes. Great. So now, students, as you can see here, finance solver info stored into tvm.n, tvm.i. Okay, that means the time value of money. Okay, tvm refers to the time value of money, and that is also into a solver mode here. Okay, so you can always come out of this mode by pressing escape. Okay, and just type in TVM. It'll also be stored in variables, okay, if I'm not mistaken. And let's say you wanted to know what was the future value of money. Observe, it's bold. The fact that it's bold tells you that the values have already gotten stored as variables, all right? And once they're stored as variables, you can just recall that. And you know that this was your answer, which was also flashing into chat by most of you, right? So well done. Okay, now it's fastest fingers first, and let me see who can get the answers correct to the next few questions that I will be displaying. Now, students, we are going to go ahead and play around with the variables. So, since we've already familiarized ourselves with all the variables, go ahead and do the next question that you see on the screen and type your answer in chat. So, Joanne invests $4,000 in an interest bearing account for a period of 5 years. Okay. Uh, Calculate the money interest rate if Joanne's investment has a balance of $10,000 at the end of the 5-year term. Given it is compounded monthly, be alert because it's monthly. Go ahead, type it in chat. First, type in your variables neatly. Yes? Are you trying? Okay, I'll wait for 10 seconds. 8, 6, 4. Okay, I already have an answer. Very good. Come on, the rest of you. So Hriday says 20.1%. Let's check that out. Let's check that out, Hriday. Okay, and if that's right, then you're the winner of this challenge. Okay. Yeah. So what will you type in and where? Take a note, students, take a note, take a close look at this. So, so over here, you are going to be typing, let me go to the calculator and again, menu 81. Okay, so as I do, I will clear the screen. So you'll be typing in 60, right? For n. So why will you type in 60 for n? Yes, why will you type in 60 for n? First, let's understand what we are going to type and where and why. Because you are compounding this monthly, right? So when you're compounding monthly, you have to convert 5 years into months, okay? Because your number of payments is going to occur monthly over here. So even if you knew all the other variables, but you did not know n, then your answer would appear as monthly here. Okay, so be alert to that fact. Next, so therefore, when you're compounding monthly, be sure that even if the number of period n, which is the period given, is given to you in years, be sure to type it in as 60. Okay. Remember, you will only get this correct in the exam if you enter the values correctly. Okay. And it's the quickest way to get it and the fastest way to score the maximum marks. And very shortly, you'll be seeing an IB question related to the same topic. Okay. So I% is, as I told you earlier, the interest rate per annum. Okay, per annum. PV, over here, read the question carefully and it says, Joanne invests $2,000 in an interest bearing account for a period of 5 years. So she's investing. So the cash flow is moving out of her hand, correct? Because it's going away. So it's negative. You must be alert to the sign over here, students, okay? When is PV going to be negative? When is PV going to be positive? So if you are investing money into something, the money, okay, Hriday has changed his answer now. So I'll come back to that, Hriday. Uh, so PV is going to be minus 4,000. So Hriday, you could also type what went wrong as you reflected and typed in these correct values. You can also type in chat what went wrong the first time so that we all will learn from that error. Okay, and very good for being so quick. Uh, Over here, the payments made, any additional payment made was zero because you were not given any information here about the fact that Joanne would, invest money monthly or 6 monthly or quarterly, half yearly, and so on. Now, 1,000 is entered as a future value, correct? Because 1,000 is entered as a future value, correct? Because you are told here that if Joanne's investment has a balance of this much, so you know what the balance is in the account, you know the value that exists in the account currently, and this is already there in the account, therefore it is positive. Okay, if this money were to leave the account, then it would have occurred as negative. So be alert to the signs here. Okay, 12 is entered as you're making as the amount is calculated monthly. The compounding is happening monthly. Okay, so the payments per year are happening monthly, and therefore this is 12, this is 12, and it's the end. Okay, so let me quickly show this to you here as well, and we'll check and see whether what Hriday got is correct or wrong or what. Okay, so very quickly, this will be 60, correct? This will be left empty because that's what you want to know. Here, you're going to type negative 4,000, correct? And your go next to this, and it's going to be zero because no additional payments are made. FV is going to be $10,000, right? So 10,000, that's correct. PPY, same, yeah, it's going to be 12 and oops. So see, sometimes, this, I was just fooling around with the calculator and I realized that These arrow keys just can be sly. Okay, so be very careful. You want to be friends with them, so ensure that you're clicking in the right places at the right time with the right values, and everything's going to be right. Okay. Now drop your cursor at the right spot, that is I, and then hit enter. And there you go, Hriday. Yes, your second attempt was correct. So you didn't tell us the what was the error you made in the first time. Okay, let me see it from you. Okay, he says, I did not consider the fact that the money was compounded monthly. Oops, the most important part in the question. Very good, and a very good reflection from you. So be alert to the small things that occur, okay? And it's also highlighted in dark. Even in the IB papers, students, many a times when the examiner wants to get your attention to this part, they're going to be highlighting this in dark, okay? It's going to be bolded for you rather. Now, students, since we are already here, I want to draw your attention to sometimes when you're solving questions about depreciation. Okay, can you give me real life examples of depreciation? When does depreciation occur? In what kind of situations? Can you just maybe one liners very quickly in chat? I'll give you around 15 seconds to do that. 15, starting right now. Come on, quick.
Or maybe you can raise your hand. We can unmute you.
Thank you, Swati.
Yes.
Yes, the value of cars being depreciated. Abhinav, I can see your affinity for cars. Very good. Okay. Anybody else? Uh, so what happens in depreciation? Let's say you buy a Benz today or a BMW, high-end cars, right? So, and the value of it may depreciate, isn't it? Maybe after 10 years or so. Uh, Yes, when an object loses value. Yes, so I'm trying to know from you what sort of object. So, as Abhinav rightly stated, the object in his case was cars, right? Many a times we also invest in real estate, right? Like buildings and so on. And it depends on the locality and the position of where the property is. Sometimes buildings do lose value, they depreciate. So when your interest rate is depreciating, now the point I'm trying to make here, students, is be alert. This point for the depreciation, the interest rate has to be entered as negative. Okay. Okay, just make sure you're getting this point. Make a note of this so that you don't forget it. Interest rate will be negative if it's a depreciation question. Okay, good. So far, so good. I'm very happy with your progress, and I'm very happy to know that you're reflecting very well. So keep up the good work. We are done with this question, right? Yes. Okay, question number 3, fastest fingers first. Variables are changing. So sometimes I can ask you to find I, sometimes F. Okay. So when you read the next question, the first thing you're going to do is type in chat what or which variable you are computing. Corey needs $6,000 to detail his car. How much would he need to initially invest? Oops. If in 4 years' time he is to accumulate sufficient funds. His investment compounds quarterly at a rate of 2% per quarter. So how much he would need to initially invest? How much? Uh,
And we have a
yes,
chat from students. They
yes,
say,
that's correct. Yes, yes, I'm just seeing that. So I can see Gia Vedante saying the principal value. That's absolutely correct, Gia. And you answered almost at the same time together with Anvi. And both of you said principal value, which is correct. So please go ahead and type that out in your calculator. And I'd like to have an answer in chat to see whether you are right. Go ahead, please. Be alert. This is per quarter. I'm really loving this group because you're so interactive and it adds so much more fun to the session. So I can see your fingers quickly shifting between tabs.
ma'am, we already have an answer from Vijay Simha.
Oh, okay. That's fantastic. So Vijay Simha says 5,960. So let's calculate and let's see. So yeah, okay, let me get off this chat. Yes. Okay. So PV is left blank here, right? Uh, please go ahead and check this out once. So I'll just move into the respective screen and you can check for yourself. Okay. Uh, so go into your calculator. Let's go here and type in 16. Okay. And you know that I percent is 8 in this case, right? Uh, so go ahead and type in 8. Remember, leave this empty. PMT, no additional payments were made. So again, 0. I would have loved to give you a question with PMT, with a value of PMT so that you could take it further. Never mind. Future value, 6,000. Uh, yes, that's correct. And you know that your PPY, that is payments per year, is 4, correct? And your, oops, see, I told you how it plays along. And see, that's it. Yes, this is also 4. And there you go. End. And then press end. Keep the cursor at the right place and then hit enter. And okay, what do you notice about this answer? So something went wrong. Something went wrong. Okay, again, Vijay Simha says that Vijay Simha didn't check that it was quarter. So Vijay Simha, your second answer also appears incorrect. Please check that out. It's not about answers being right or wrong. It's about reflecting in the process of learning. Okay. So yes, please check and see whether you are getting this correct. Yeah, very good. Okay. Everybody else, I'd like to hear from you as well. Are you able to follow this question? What is it that's happening? How's it going about with you? So, what does this tell you? What does this tell you? What is the story that sits behind these numbers, right? All these variables here tell you a story, right? What does the story tell you? That this tells you that Corey will need to invest, right? Because there's a negative sign here. So that means the cash flow is moving away out of Corey's hands because the question was relating to Corey here. And you can now say that Corey will need to invest $4,370.67 at the end of a 4-year period, correct? Yes? Okay, I hope that you have understood that question. Next, go ahead and type this one out, okay? Be alert, this is per week. So I've already drawn your attention to per week. How long will Laura need to invest $5,000 in order to gain a balance of $15,000 in an account that compounds interest weekly at a rate of 0.2% per week? Go ahead. Can you tell me in chat, what are you trying to find? What is the variable you're trying to compute? How long? How long? So what is it you're trying to compute? Come on. Yes, my amazing participants of the session. Go ahead, tell me. Anshuman, Hriday, Jia, Anvi, Abhishek. Yes, that's correct, Hriday. You're trying to compute N. How long is the number of payments? That's correct. Swati, am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Correct. Thank you. Go ahead. Once you know what to do here, please go ahead and type in your answer in chat, and then we'll move to checking whether what you've done is right. I'd love to give you this opportunity, participants, so that you know that you have the confidence to type in the right values. Okay. I'll give you about a minute. Hurry up. Yes, Anvi, you were correct. It was N that we need to find out. Are we having an answer soon? Quick. Participant Swati has set a nice challenging quiz for you towards the end of the session, and I want you to be able to ace it. It's time up. Do we have an answer? Nobody's
Not
trying?
yet. Mm, uh,
Okay. Let me explain then. So take a look. How long, as you can see, it's highlighted. That means you are computing n. So this is going to be left blank. Okay, I have an answer now. It's 10.56, the candidate says. And yes, I no, it can't be 10.5. Okay, yes, you're saying 20.56 years. Yes, that's correct. You've given it to me in years. But I'd like to know in weeks how much you get. In weeks, how much you would get. Okay. So over here, you know that I is entered as 10.4. And why is that 10.4? That's because it's 52. Yes, that's correct. Anvi, that's correct. It's 549.86 weeks. You would expect such a huge answer, right? Because you're compounding weekly. So here's a time, a good opportunity for you also to use logic, okay? You are compounding this value weekly, right? So you know that there are 52 weeks approximately in a year, right? And I percent would give you 52 into 0.2%, right? Because 0.2% per week. So if it's 0.2% per week into 52 weeks, you would have 10.4. And this money has moved off, the cash flow has happened uh, out of her hands. So Laura needs to invest. So she's giving away the money. The cash flow is happening away. It's going away. So it's negative. There are no additional payments made, so it's zero. And as you can see, the balance of 15,000 exists in the account. So FE is 15,000. And payments per year is 52 because this is payments per year done weekly in this case. Okay. So I won't go ahead and type it out since you've already given me the correct answer. Would you want me to do it specifically? You can type this in chat. I'll give you about 10 seconds if you want me to explicitly show you.
Ma'am, we have a question like when would PV be positive?
Yes, you'll be seeing it in the next few questions. So we'll discover it shortly when PV is positive. Okay, the principal value will be positive when the money gets into your hands, right? So for example, when you're receiving a loan, the money is coming into your hands. You're not investing it, correct? It's not going out of your hand, right? The cash flow uh, minus 5,000 is entered as the cash flow in this case, right? So for example, how long will Laura need to invest? Because Laura is investing. However, the cash flow, now to answer your question specifically, if you want to know it right away, is when you are receiving a loan, correct? Because the money is coming into your hand. So PV is positive then. Swati, am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
That's correct. Yes, good. So yeah, so if you wanted to know in 10 years, 7 months, that was your answer. Okay, now just for fun, I thought I'll put in a question on depreciation to have you play around with. So students, what will I be in this case? Please type in the exact value of I in this case. I'd like to know from you, what would the value of I be? Just the value of I. Please type it out in chat. I'm not interested in knowing any of these answers as of now. A, B, C. I'm not interested in knowing those answers as of now. That's correct, Anvi. Very good. So Anvi says it's minus 10. That's correct. And you need to know that depreciation would mean the interest is negative. Swati, am I right over here?
Yes, yes, ma'am. That's right.
That's correct. Yes, this is a point that needs to be stressed on students. So I wanted reassurance from Swati as well here. So make sure that you know this part well. Okay. So all you need to know in depreciation is that the interest rate there is negative. So be alert to that fact. Yeah. The rest of the questions are fine. So I'd love to take you now to an IB style question and show you exactly how it's also marked in an IB paper. Okay. So what do you write down then? If your calculator does everything, what are you going to write down in the paper? If you write down just the answer, boom, all your marks are gone. Okay. So these questions, students, come normally for 6 marks in an AASL paper, and similarly in an AISL paper, wherein you also get questions on amortization and things like that. Yeah. So I think, Swati, how much time do we have left?
Oh, ma'am, about 15 to 20 minutes.
Great. Okay. All right. Good, Vijay Sima. I can see that you've given me an answer. I don't have it right now, but I'll tell you in a moment. Okay. Uh, okay. In the meanwhile, please move into to this question. Okay. So as you can see, this is an IB question. Go ahead, take your time, read what's happening, and type in your answer in chat. So Sean invests 50,000 Australian dollars into a savings account, which pays a nominal annual interest rate at 5.6% compounded monthly. Calculate the value of Sean's investment after 4 years. Give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. So remember, for 2 decimal places, just set in the setting as the initial setting. Oh, I'll just show you that. You can do it here as well, but I think you can do it here as well. That's okay. But just press escape, and if you want to do it in the menu mode, you can go ahead and go into home, and you can go into settings, document settings, and you can press the uh, display digit. You can fix it to 2. Okay, fixes 2, right? Okay, and then proceed into go into your current slot. So just press 4 if you want to go into your current document that you were talking about. And then you can also go into menu 81. Remember, these are the magic keys for today's class. Menu 81 for finance solver, and you have your finance variables or your time value of money here. So remember, the question is this. Once you get the answer to part A, please type in your answer and we'll check. Okay. Uh, Vijay Sima is very quick, I must say. Okay. Thank you for that answer, Vijay Sima. In a moment, we'll be discussing it. By the way, the other question that you had said was a rounded value, Vijay Sima. So you might want to go and check the previous one as well. The answer doesn't reflect the correct value. It's 16,200, as you said, right? The correct answer to the previous question is 16,110. I'd love to show you that in a moment, but let's finish this question and then go back.
We have an answer from Hidey, ma'am. It is
Yes.
97452.24.
Okay, let's check now. So students, this is how your answer key looks at the time, in a mark scheme. Okay, so you need to first enter this step. Make sure that you've entered this step in your paper, because if you directly go and happily solve it into your calculator and go click, 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 you're going to end up with M0, A0, A0, A0. Okay, so make sure that this first step is put out into the paper, into the very first form which I showed you, right? Because the formula is given to you in the IB booklet. Don't forget, this formula is given to you in the IB booklet. Okay, so in this case, this K is 12. That is the compounding periods per year is 12, right? So just a moment. I think we were on my slide number. Yes. So for the question, you are compounding monthly. So remember, uh, oops, sorry. Yeah. Uh, yes. So you can go ahead and type in. Remember, what are you finding out in the first place? Calculate the value of Sean's investment after 4 years. Correct? So you are finding out FV, correct? You're finding out FV. So after 4 years, so you can type it out in two ways. This is what I was telling you. Okay, you can type it out in two ways. Safest is to follow the second way. Always. Safest is to follow the second way because it is compounded monthly. It's compounded monthly. Okay. So if you can understand the transition between the variables, and you're free to use the first method as well. But I wanted to show you both the ways, and you can see that the compounding periods per year is 12. Yes, I understand that. So just for PPY, that is the payments per year. Uh, can you explain it once again? Yes, Vijayasima, surely. I'll explain it once again. Remember, I'm not here to teach you the concept, although I'd love to, but we are just focusing on what to enter into the calculator. But since you're insisting that you want to know what are compounding periods per year, I'd love to show you that. Remember, compounding periods per year is given to you in the question in this case. So it says here it's compounded monthly, right? So Vijayasima, for you and even for the rest of the class, I'd request you to follow the second method here. So you know that n is 4 times 12 because it's compounded monthly. So 12 fours are 48, right? So plug in that value here. Okay. Now, what is your interest rate? What does the interest rate say? This is 5%. It tells you here that the interest rate is annual interest rate. So you're not changing anything there. Because it's an annual interest rate, it stays as 5.6. Got it? Hello? Okay. Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you're
Yeah, yeah.
audible.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I had a slight issue, current issue. Yes. Okay. Good. So next, as far as your present value, your principal value is concerned, go back to the question. She invests 50,000 Australian dollars. Okay. So she is investing. The cash flow is going away from her hands. Okay. From Sean's hands. So you need to put it as negative. I'll just take the question in chat in a moment. Let me just explain the variables, and I'll be happy to take the question in chat. So payments per year is referred to as 12. Okay, and compounding periods per year again is 12. Okay, so this is as far as this is concerned. So Vijay I hope that explains. PPY, correct. I get the right answer. Yes, yes, correct. Good. I'm happy to know that you're getting the right answer, Vijay Good. What about the rest of the participants? I hope you're getting the right answer now. So remember, just in the question, students, don't try to do too much of jigsaw here, especially when you're in familiarization mode, when you're familiarizing yourself with all the variables that are there. Don't try to play around too much. Once you have developed an expertise in the variables and you've understood how to move around, yes, that's the time you can go and dance between the variables and just play around. And then you can say, if n is 4, okay, now try to understand the first part. I'll also explain the first part if you can catch it. Okay. Now, it says here that uh, calculate the value of Sean's investment after 4 years. So if you're too lazy to put in other details, yes, please go and type it NS4. Interest rate per annum is not changing. That is 5.6, correct? PV is negative because the money has gone out of their hands, right? Now, the question tells you compounding periods per year is happening monthly, right? Compounding periods per year is happening monthly because the question tells you that. It's bolded. That means CPY is going to be 12. Got it? CPY is going to be 12 or C/Y, however it occurs in your calculator. In TI Inspire, it occurs as CPY, but in other calculators, you might also see this as C small p and y. Okay. So you know that the payments per year are being made once, correct? Okay. So this part, you should understand this part. If you get this part correct, then you're not going to go wrong. But if you feel that you would like to keep compounding periods per year same as the payments per year, payments made per year, then please go ahead and multiply it by 12. It's the safest to do. Okay. Swati, would you agree with me as far as this is concerned?
Yes, ma'am, totally.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yes.
Yes. So please go ahead now. Now that you've understood the first part, yeah, I have a question in chat again.
No,
Will you
ma'am,
have a
about the quiz.
on what we have learned today? Oh, yes, yes, yes. This is about the quiz. Yes, we'll have a quiz, students, right away. So the second part is about finding the value of t. So please go ahead and compute t. Please go ahead and compute t. I'm eagerly waiting to see your answer. Please go ahead and tell me what t is. If you want me to directly show you the answer, which I wouldn't encourage, I'm happy to do that. But um, try it out. Take some time. Yes, Vijay, I'm looking forward to an answer from you and all of you here in this session. Please go ahead, students. Come on, Sadvik, Sahan, Sarang, Siddharth, Vijay, Vineet. I'd love to hear from you. Hriday, come on. Harsh, Anvi, Aditya, Abhishek, come on. Zaran, Vineet. Okay. I'm happy to show you the answer since have not yet received any. Okay, so what you do in that case, students, is as follows. Okay, your I percent is negative. Okay, I don't know whether you realize that. Uh, your I percent is depreciating, so it's negative. Okay. Then PV is 40,000. FV. Now be alert about the way you're going to put in the value. Will PV be negative 40,000 or will it be positive 40,000? Okay. So be alert to that as you type it in. FV, PV is going to be 2,500, right? The value of the car will be 2,500 after blah, blah. So FE is going to be negative 40,000 because you're withdrawing. Okay. So once you have that in, once you have this in, no, this one. Okay. You should be getting T as 13.97. So that rounds off to 14. All right. Okay, I have it in chat. Yes, that's correct. Absolutely right. Vijay Hriday, very good. So, Swati, I think we wouldn't have time for demonetization, for amortization now. I've
Uh,
already explained depreciation.
Ma'am, maybe if we still have 5 minutes if we can
Okay, so
complete.
I can just briefly
Yeah,
shed light on it.
basic.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. So students, I'm happy to know that you have got this part correct. So be alert that interest rate should be negative for depreciation and be alert to negative values of FV, PV, and so on. Okay. So depreciation, this question was just to reiterate that it's negative. And I'd also quickly love to show you how, amortization, what is amortization? So the process of repaying a loan with a series of regular payments is called amortization. Okay. Now you might not remember this whole order, students, for amortization. Okay. The process of repaying a loan, you might not remember this whole order. So what you do is in your math Bible, as they call it, here, right? So just press escape. You'll come to your main screen, that is your document screen. You can go on to catalog, okay? And okay, and you can move up to A here, right? So A will have,
You can
uh,
just type in A,
yes,
ma'am. It will
yes,
take.
yes, that's correct. So if let's say I'm down, let's say I'm on N and I want to go to A, I can just hit A here, is what Swati was telling. Thanks, Swati. And I'll get my amortization table here. So I'll know what to type in, students, from here. Okay. If I hit enter, you can see, correct? So you can just go, yeah, wizards on, I don't think helps us much in this case, correct? So the thing that you have to remember here in amortization is you need to know what to type in at what point. Okay. So it kind of follows the similar order as in the table. we just practiced. Okay, so when you come into the main screen, 1 minute. Uh, yeah. Okay, it's not here. Uh, you can also go into menu. Okay, finance, and you will see amortization here in number 3. Okay, so all this while we were in menu 8.1 for finance solver, you can also call in menu finance, that is menu 8.3 for amortization. Okay, and amortization table. Now over here, keep in mind the format that you just had. Okay, now the format that you just had is as follows. Let me quickly explain this format to you. The first variable over there. So if I hit in 10, it will tell me that I need 10 of such rows. Okay. So over here, it's not advisable, if you're doing it on your handheld, to type in a lot of values like 500, 700, because you'll get those many rows. So it'll be difficult for you kind of shift through, but it's always good to also see it if you're using the emulator. So TVM, then comes your first variable. So TVM is the time value of money for the number of payments. So the first thing over here will represent also the column 1 here. When you get your answer, the column 1 here will represent the number of payments you've done. All right. So N, comma. Now let's say you don't know certain values. No problem. Just leave it blank and put a comma. Got it? So let's say you don't know what N is. Just leave it blank and put a comma. Then I is your interest per annum. And that is also reflected in the second column. Okay. So while the first column here, can you see my cursor moving? The first column will represent your number of repayment. Then the second column is going to represent the interest. The third column is going to represent the principal pay off in that repayment period. And the fourth is going to represent the balance of the loan at the end of each payment, correct? So as you can see in this simple example, as you can see here, the balance of the loan is decreasing, right? So you can practice this, students, and I'm always there to help you. You can post in your questions to Swati and the group, and I'm here to help you. So thank you so much for joining me this evening with um, all your energy and with your hand held in place. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful session. I hope it was helpful to all the students here. So now, students, let us have a quiz on what we have learned. So I request you to enter joinmyquiz.com in your Google. I have written in the chat box joinmyquiz.com. So after you enter, you just need to input the code that I'm giving you. That is 225563. Joinmyquiz.com and input the code 225563. Please keep your handheld ready. I'll wait for a minute for all the participants to join. Joinmyquiz.com and then input the code